Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me again. Today's topic matter is a little more serious than what we've been discussing in the past. I've been approached by several people and contacted to talk about a subject that's very universal to everyone, um, no matter what your gender or race or culture is. Depression affects millions of people daily. Um, and it's a serious subject matter here. I've, since I've taken this path in my life, I've been extremely fortunate to encounter people, um, and since I've been doing this channel, they found me or found me welcoming enough to discuss some personal issues that's been going on in their lives or in their past. And depression has been popping up more so than a lot of topics with me lately. And a lot of people have been confiding in me about this stuff. So, um, as a general, I just want to address it. Now, I do want to give a um, pre-warning um, and make an acknowledgement. If you are suffering from depression, especially severe depression, this is not a substitute for that. This is just another means to channel or another resource. It's not a substitute. Please do not take my advice over, a counselor, someone that's been speaking with you about it, a medical doctor. Please continue to seek out those sources. And I'm actually going to try to incorporate some links or some information on this video so you can reach out if you are suffering from depression. So this is not a substitute for that. This is just another avenue that we can talk about it. And as a whole, depression affects nearly everyone. I'm sure there are some exceptions to the rule, but um, not in my personal experiences. The majority of the people I encounter, whether it's a casual acquaintance, family, friend, stranger on the street, they've been affected by some type of depression. Now, the first thing I want you to know, and that's why I started it out that way, you're not alone. You're not alone. You are not the only person that's feeling the way you're feeling or that's going through what you're going through. Um, that does not minimize it, um, but sometimes it helps to know that there is someone else out there going through what you're going through. Um, and depression can manifest itself in so many ways. There are typical signs that people tell you to look for, like if the person was outgoing and now they're suddenly withdrawn, or they're not leaving their house, or canceling social events, or maybe not dressing the way they used to dress, or those are just the appearance is maybe sad or a little withdrawn. Those are common symptoms of depression. Those are, those symptoms that they're obvious. However, depression, the signs of depression are not always obvious because everybody doesn't lock themselves in the house or, stop cleaning up or whatever the case is. Some people, what I call are functional depressive people. They're able to go to work. They're able to talk to family and friends, maybe clean the house, but they're still going through a depression. Sometimes they're just masked by humor, could be masked by anger. There's so many things that a person may feel as they're going through it. The main thing is, or one of my things that helped me, and like I said, everybody's been touched by depression. If if it was just 5 minutes or 5 days or 5 weeks or 5 months, we've all had a slight bout of depression. Um, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to try to conceal. It's normal. You know, I think maybe not being depressed is the exception to the rule and not the rule. So it's normal. It's normal to be affected by things that are going on in your life, whether they're, not going the way you expected, or you think you should be somewhere different in life, or you've been given some bad news or something that you don't think is right. It's normal to be affected by that, and um, so you're not doing anything wrong. You know, you don't have to be ashamed of being depressed, and no one should ever make you feel ashamed of being depressed. And I talk about this in my book a little bit about um, people put us on these timelines sometimes. Maybe when we put ourselves on these timelines, okay, I've been depressed for 1 week. That's enough. I need to stop it. Another person wouldn't be depressed this long. They snap out of it. So what we're doing automatically is putting extra pressure on ourselves, and it's making it worse. I can't tell someone when they should stop feeling a certain way. And, and, and I don't think anyone should tell you when you should stop feeling a certain way. Some of us process information a little, we process information a little differently. So it may take us 2 weeks instead of that 3 days that it took, a family member or a friend or a colleague. Or, you may be that person that will take you to snap out of it in 5 minutes and move on. And that's great if it is, but it's also okay if you're not that person. Um, there are a couple, my own little measure of life. I call it like the circle of life, and I know everybody says that, but there are key points in your circle. You know, your circle could have 5 points or 6 points or whatever, but some of the key focus parts of our circle are health, um, career or job, financial stability, family, spirituality, perhaps if that's part of your circle, and relationships. So, I think most of us can survive if one or two pieces of our circle are kind of in disarray, and I think that's pretty much normal. Um, you're not going to have too many days where just that sixth piece of the circle is flowing in perfect, harmonious sync and nothing going wrong in life. But if you are one of those people, kudos, congratulations, because I think that's only happened maybe once or twice in my whole life. And as an individual, we individualize what the most important parts of our circle are. Some people, their emphasis is more on spirituality. Some is more on financial stability. Some people, health, is more important. If they had to choose between health and financial stability, they choose health. Some people would choose financial stability. Some people would choose a relationship. So I think it's important to know what part of your circle is important. Um, and I think when we have more parts of the circle that's not in harmony, that's when we have a tendency to have more, be more prone to depression. Um, if you're not in that relationship, or if you're not in any relationship, or if you're in an unhealthy relationship, that means your circle in that part is out of sync. If unfortunately you've been given some bad news concerning your health, or some challenging news, I would say, um, concerning your health, that portion is not in sync. If you recently lost a job, or if you're in a job that you're not content with, um, that part of your circle may be not in sync. So what happens is you have a 6-part circle, and you have 4 areas that you're not in sync with, you know, you're kind of unbalanced at that point. And that's when we're prone to more uh, bouts of depression. In my book, I actually say the blah days. Um, I don't say really depression, but I do say the blah days. And I'm going to give you a quick recap of the blah days. You know, the blah days is something that can add to depression. You know, it could be the forewarning of depression. Blah days are when you just, you know, something may be going right and you just can't look at the things that are going right in life. You're focusing on that one part of the circle that's just not going right, but two parts. Um, and you know you shouldn't, but you're struggling, and that's okay too. We all have our blah days. Um, I think maybe blah days are almost healthy. You know, you're gonna have it, deal with it, accept it, and try to move on from it. If the blah days are happening too frequently, then you are closer to depression than probably, you know, you'd like to admit or we'd like to admit. So at that point, you may want to start considering other avenues and tapping into resources that can help you. And I did put some of those in my book also. But we have to find a way to deal with the parts of the circle that's not going the way we anticipated them going. You know, certain things are a little more easier to deal with. You know, the health challenges, they're unfortunately some of them are facts. And hopefully through speaking with people and the medical advances that we have now, you know, they won't be as difficult as they were in the past. And you know, there's support groups and there are people you can talk to if that is one of your parts of your circle that you're dealing with right now. So I definitely don't want to diminish that fact. Um, you know, do what you have to do with that aspect of the circle. The other aspect of the circle, um, you know, I make a little reference to depression and financial depression. I think financial depression has its own separate category because the other parts of the circle can be okay, and if you're just not meeting your basic financial needs, and you're working as hard as you can work, and you're doing what you can do, and you're still not meeting your basic family needs, whether it's, you know, putting a roof over your head, or you know, if you're the caretaker for someone, whether it's children or aging parent or a sibling or whatever the case is, and if you're not meeting those financial needs, that puts a lot of pressure on you, a lot of pressure. So um, that can be tough in itself, even if all the other parts of the circle are okay. Um, and there are other avenues too that we can explore. You know, this is the first video on depression. I'm gonna actually do a couple more segments today on different avenues of depression and some things that, you know, we're gonna dissect that circle a little more. So that's one of the things. You know, so financial depression is kind of got its own little category. Then there's relationship depression. You can be extremely successful in good health, and if you are seeking the companionship of someone and you don't have it, then you know that can be extremely difficult to understand and, you know, and continue through. So you may be going through that. So that in itself is difficult. You know, the one thing about depression, and we're going to get really in because my time is out for this one segment. I just want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. And you're going to be okay. And we're going to get through this together. So don't give up on yourself. And you will come out on the other side a much better person than you went in. I'm going to end this segment for now, and I'm going to continue with some more segments, and I hope you do stay tuned. And once again,